Center console via SMS, email, or tethering to the workstation that they'll be using. We have security on the phones for anti-malware scanning, anti-phishing for the emails, and anti-spam on there as well. Anti-theft is a pretty good nifty feature. So if you've got your employees, let's say Frank from the accounts department, takes his laptop down to or his mobile tablet down to the pub, he loses it, gives you a call, you send out the GPS tracking to find out where it is. So and if you see it gives you a result, it comes back in Timbuktu somewhere, you can then use the software to remotely block or wipe the device. So as well with this, we have policy compliance where you can set the passwords, jailbreak rootkit detections, and force any settings that you require the end users to have. With applications, we can do three things with applications. We can block any applications that are being installed on the devices. Specify some applications that are required. You can actually host your own app store using the Security Center. Host your own apps and then provide them as links to your users so they're required onto the devices. And we can block and allow applications as well. Also do encryption on mobile devices, so you can encrypt files and create containers. So bringing that, we can use it as a perfect solution for a BYOD scenario. So what we can actually do with a mobile device is pretty much cut it in two. You can do what's called sandboxing. So you'll have the corporate information on one side, any required applications you require, exchange email accounts, and then you'll have the personal information on the other side. So that when Frank lost his phone, and you've seen it turn up in Timbuktu, or if, so that's the wrong analogy. So if I come and join your company tomorrow, and then I bring my own device, you set up all your corporate information on there, and then if I just bugger off the next day, you can send out a code and just wipe your corporate information without touching any of my personal stuff. Okay, so systems management, this is the really nifty feature in the product now. So this is such a time. How much time do you spend chasing applications for Windows, for Java, Adobe updates, any of those? We can scan vulnerabilities using hardware, software, and inventory scans. And with that, you can use the advanced patching to prioritize when you want these patches to be released. You can even set up test groups, so with your Windows updates or any other third-party updates, have a test group, release the applications or the updates to that test group, make sure everything's okay before you release it out to your production environment. As well with this, we've got system provisioning. That allows you to capture and deploy images of operating systems, whether it's a bare-bone machine or whether it's actually somebody's in-use profile. You can capture a fresh copy or as it stands and then be able to deploy it all from a single console. The license management, so they can track usage, manage renewals. So if you've got 400 licenses that you're buying from Microsoft Office, but then you only end up using 300 of them, how would you know? This will allow you to track, maintain and monitor those licenses, so in the long run you'll be saving money because you'll know how many you're actually using. Network admission control. So what we do is actually specify, say the Security Center is an enforcer on your network. Via ARP you can detect everything that's on your network, whether it be mobile devices, printers, computers, or even gateway products. And this will allow you to set up access restrictions for them. So you have a contractor coming on site, we have a built-in guest portal, which then you can customize the display. Your contractor will see that, you give them a code, and then you specify what they have access to, so whether it's just a printer and the internet. And then we also have built-in remote management tools, so you don't have to use a third-party like VNC or Windows RDP to remote into these computers that you want to troubleshoot. It's all built into the Security Center using the network agents in the remote computers, and it will just appear as a local session on that computer. As well as that, we can also remotely export all the event logs for troubleshooting down the line, so you don't have to disturb an end user to grab these event logs. So our key main features with the endpoint are our control tools. So device control. Sorry about that, I'm missing some icons there. So device control lets you block any kind of peripheral devices on your network, so from USBs to FireWire. We can even get so specific and granular as to, so let's say you've got a Kingston USB, and this is the only kind of USB that you want to allow on your network because you've already gone through and encrypted them all. And we can specify that's the only one that's allowed. So anybody that plugs in any other kind of removable drive, it just won't register on the computers. Web control, that's will give you application blocking, so you can block by categories, so pornography, gambling, those kind of things. Or we can do content, so music, video files, and you can even specify what times of day you want these to be blocked. So let's say you don't want your staff to be using Facebook during work hours. Be happy for them to do it during lunch. So we can specify the lunchtime is not blocked, the rest of the period is blocked. And we can also tie in with Active Directory and say that the marketing people allow it all the time. So you can specify how you want to use that. And this will apply on and off the network as well. So even if you have remote users, and you can create multiple policies. So some rules on-site, other rules off-site, and that will all tie into our hotel. So the most important one there is the application control with dynamic whitelisting. And Kaspersky actually hosts its own dynamic whitelisting labs for this. And it allows you to, or empowers the IT administrator to specify what applications are allowed to run in your network and who is actually allowed to use those applications as well. Okay, so sort of on the, this is the peak of our mountain of security. We have our comprehensive infrastructure products. Security for mail, so these are for your mail exchange, Lotus, Notes, Domino. Security for gateways, such as TMG, Squid and Firewall. And security for collaboration, which is things like SharePoint. These are all made more powerful and backed up by our Kaspersky Security Network, which is a global database. We collect all of the information and data from all of our consumer users, so tens of millions of users. We capture snapshots of suspicious behaviour on their machines, and it's all uploaded to our cloud and then shared with corporate and consumer users alike. Essentially what it means, if there's a virus detected out in Timbuktu, a major malicious outbreak, we can respond to that within seconds and provide signatures to all our users. There we go. So this is just a snapshot of our licensing model. So we build it feature on feature. So we start with the base, which is core. So all of our code is, or all of our products are built from the same base code from the ground up. So we haven't gone and bought other kind of products and vendors and then tried to mesh them to make them work. We built all the code from the products from the base code. So starting with the core, it's our basic anti-malware firewall protection. So that doesn't include any servers or anything like that. So this is just a real basic protection. Moving up, we go into select, where we have our endpoint controls, file server security, as well as our mobile security. And then on top of that, we have data protection, which is the encryption, systems management tools, and that's our advanced package. And then at the top there, we have total, which includes the collaboration, SharePoint, mail, and web. Okay, so and most companies won't require all of the extra features there. So what we can do as well with this, so say you just want to select target, we can then have other add-on solutions. So you can go for select and then add on the mail component. Or another one we've got there is the virtualization, which seems to be the way most businesses are going these days, with data centers virtualizing. So the current scenario at the moment, you most likely got endpoints in each of your virtual machines. And each of those virtual machines will be using a 512 mega RAM minimum, 800 on the processor, and then 4 to 5 gigs of storage. So times that by 20 machines on each host, how much resources you'll be using up. What we can actually do now is we upload one virtual appliance per host and do away with all the endpoints on each virtual machines. So this virtual appliance will then, via the hypervisor level, scan all viruses on that level before they even reach the machines. And it will take up maybe about a gig of RAM, thin 8 gig of storage, and then just processing power for about 1200 megahertz. So that's how much sort of resources you'll save. So let's say your host can carry 20 machines. By using something like Kaspersky Security for Virtualization, you'll double that amount that you can use. so just a summary of what we've got. So with our platform, this allows you to see, control and protect your entire network, whether they're on-site, remote, or even in another country, all from a single console. This will allow any organisation of any size to have deeper protection, greater IT efficiency and a unified management system. So I think the message we want you to take away from this, so let's sorry. One platform, one console, one cost.